My name is Darryl. I am so excited about this. One of the biggest stars in the world is hanging out on the show tonight. Selena Gomez, hello.
Hello.
Wolves is really brilliant. I'm a real big fan of this. And I feel it kind of feels really raw and honest, and it's very confident, which I think right now is what you're doing best, isn't it, right now?
Thank you. I mean, I'd like to think so. You know, life is beautiful and complicated, and my music is such a good outlet for me to express that. So thank you. That's what I hope.
Well, there's a lot of people and a lot of different ideas and a lot of theories floating around about what Wolves means and what it means to you. In your words, where is this coming from for you?
I feel like Wolves is a representation of, I mean, maybe just everyday struggles. It doesn't have to be something that's necessarily extreme, but I feel like it could mean that you're trying to search for something that, you know, you've wanted, whether that's a version of friendship or love. But, you know, for me and Petra Collins, who's one of my best friends, she directed the first performance I've done in a very long time. And when I played it for her, she thought this is a great version of trying to find yourself, the fight to find who you are. So that's how I've interpreted it. I think it's a great song and a message to say, you know, it's fine that I've searched in all the wrong places, but I just want to get to me.
And that's kind of one of those things I think a lot of, in fact, you know what, I'm going to say everybody goes through that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. There's no way of avoiding that emotion.
Your life, as I imagine, is a total whirlwind. Do you feel like you have to kind of really consciously dig into those parts of you that are relatable and kind of write about those and perform about those, or does that come quite naturally?
Yeah, no, I don't think I have to dig for any of that. I think that's just who I am. So a lot of that is who I've always been. You know, I'm not really someone to hide that. You know, I don't think that's something that's normal. And, you know, I do my best to protect my journey, if you will. So it's just allowing myself to do what I love, which is the art behind all of it. You know, I think for me, it's always been what I do. I love performing. I love writing. I love being a part of beautiful projects. That's just kind of who I am.
I remember you saying a little while ago that because you've obviously spin a lot of plates with the acting and there's fashion stuff and all the other stuff that you've got going on, that it's been quite hard to dedicate the time to just focus on the music and to spend as much time as you kind of want to spend in the studio. Have you managed to do that more now? Are you kind of getting that balance right?
Honestly, I feel like I have almost 2 albums worth of music. I just told my label, maybe a lot of people don't know that, but I've just told them there's not really a place where I feel like, okay, this is it. This is where I want my music to go. So Bad Liar and Fetish and It Ain't Me to Wolves, all of the choices I've made have been music I've sat on for a while. And it's just because I want to figure out where I want to go. So I feel most confident right now in feeling that direction is going to be music. So lately I've dedicated more time, but it's up to me. You know, if I want to block everything else out and focus on that, I can. But everything else in every other area of my life and career has been fun, you know, and I've enjoyed giving that more attention to.
Great. That's a nice place to be, isn't it? That's a really great situation to be
in.
Do you know what? I saw Liam Payne posted a Snapchat story listening to Wolves. Did you see that the other day?
Wait, who did?
Liam Payne, you know, formerly of
Oh, that's so sweet. Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm super stoked for all of his solo stuff he's been doing. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's so nice.
Yeah. So he was walking down a hallway and he had a little speaker, a little boombox, and he was throwing some moves.
Good. Probably better moves than I've done, but good.
Do you still have those moments where somebody is a fan of your music and it kind of surprises you a bit, or are you just used to that kind of
Yes, of course, you know, and I think that's what's been really cool about my music and growing through it, because I love people and I love the artists I've been able to work with, but to see someone you've admired or respect enjoy your music means so much, you know, and I continue to be surprised by people who appreciate my music.
Great. Well, Liam Payne, tick. That's one tick for you.
There you go.
Congratulations on being the most followed person on Instagram, by the way. I imagine that when you get that sort of accolade, there's some sort of like huge ceremony or something. What happens?
No, don't think there's a ceremony. If anything, it's hysterical to me. It's not something I really tried to actively keep up. I am grateful for that position, but maybe I've gotten in trouble some of the time saying, you know, it's good to step away from it. But yeah, don't really know how I feel about that.
Do you do that thing that a lot of people do? And I think I'm really guilty of this. The late night Instagram scrolling.
Yes, I haven't in a while because it's not something I put on my devices for instant access on purpose because I definitely do my best to protect it. So, yes, guilty. I end my night and start my day with it. So, not lately, but I have.
I think we've all been there at some point. So you've deleted it. You've like deleted it from your phone and stuff, have you?
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, it's just doesn't have to be how everyone feels, but it's good to step away from it. I love seeing what's in front of me and making sure I pay attention to that.
Do you know what? I did this for a week last week. I had a week off last week and I did exactly the same thing. And it's so refreshing.
Yeah. And you like naturally check it, right? Like you go to think it's there and it's not. It's like, oh, okay, that's all right. Yeah. You know, it's weird, but yeah.
I had my banking app in the place where the Instagram app usually is, so I kept accidentally clicking on that. Yeah, which I also,
it's like here's life's responsibilities, just to remind you.
Yes, that's another thing that I don't want to see right now as well. Thank you so much.
Same.
Listen, I can't have you on the show and not talk about dogs because I've spent quite a lot of time googling you and pictures of those dogs. I mean, they are the cutest things ever. How many have you got now? Where are you at?
No, so my family, I grew up with 6 dogs. They were all rescue dogs, and they were basically my brothers that I never wanted. But once I moved out of my parents' house, I would go visit them. They weren't, my dogs to take. Now I have my own puppy. His name is Charlie. And it's like having a kid. It's a lot.
Oh. Is he in that phase where he's chewing through a lot of stuff?
For sure. And most of it's my clothes. So it's been exciting.
Do you know what? I don't think people realise, do they? Like before they get a puppy, it's a lot of work and responsibility, right?
For sure. It's the greatest though. Sometimes I like to spend a lot of time alone, so he's good company.
How do you feel about dog accessories? Where are you at with that?
I'm for it. I just not sure maybe my dog will have tons of it. I think he chews through everything and I think it's adorable, but he has no clothes or any sort of accessory. He's got a beautiful bag and that's about it.
Well, Christmas is coming, there's such an opportunity there for a dog Christmas jumper, maybe.
I don't know. I'm going to probably give my 4-year-old sister every gift possible.
Okay, that seems sensible. When I said that you were coming on the show, I got absolutely inundated with loads of questions and stuff from fans. They really love you, don't they? They're really, really there for you, aren't they?
They are, yes. I couldn't be more grateful for it. I grew up with a lot of them, so it's kind of personal.
I'm going to rattle through some of the things they want to ask you.
Let's do it. Yes.
Ivy says, what is a normal Sunday morning like for you, Selena?
Sundays are usually my favorite. I feel motivated, so I attempt to work out. Doesn't mean I always do, but I attempt to do that, and I love being outside. I've been in kind of a painting phase where I'm in my backyard and I'll paint for a while, and I love having my friends over. Movie night. It's just kind of one of those days where just relaxing, I think, for me. Not all the time, but when it is, it's good.
Perfect. Sounds perfect. Faith says, what is the one thing that you cannot live without?
Oh, gosh, a lot. But for now, I think the person I couldn't live without most is my sister. She just, any situation, if I FaceTime her, she's telling me about her coloring and her homework and just brings life to a blissful place for me.
Right, sounds nice. 2 major themes as well that people really wanted answers on. Tour and album. So I know kind of like you want to get yourself into the right place to get yourself out on tour again, and the same with the album as well. Like where are you at? What kind of like, is there a timeline on that or what?
There isn't a timeline, but I do feel like right now it's a good time and I want that. Yes, of course. I'm very honest with where I am always, but the tour, I mean, I'm creating an album for a tour. For me, that's what I want most is, people can buy it all over the world, but when I'm in an arena with one person to thousands of people, I want that music to resonate and I want people to feel good. So I want that and it will happen. It's going to happen. I want a tour. Yes, of course.
Great. Well, when you're ready, we're ready too.
Thank you. It'll be sooner than people think, but I've said that for quite some time, so I'm sure they won't believe me.
I'm sure. Whenever you're ready, in your own time. Listen, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming to the UK and spending some time with us. Real big fan of Wolves, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Thank you. It's one of my favorite places, so it feels good to be back. I'll be back soon.
You are always welcome. Selena, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.